No, it's people have titles, but they don't know how to parent.
Yeah, yeah. I want to know something funny. We have not been live, but I will be recording this and sending it over.
That's fine. That is okay. We
Yeah,
got it.
we totally got it, and I'm with you 100% on that. That hey, we got to do a better job. The parents, I really think that the parents really need to be talking to their kids about the dangers of guns, and I feel like we need to be more vocal with other kids. If the parents don't, sometimes you just have to talk to them and see what's going on in their head. You know, we got to do it. We got to talk to these kids, even if it's not your kid. We got to see what's going on in their head space because they go through a lot of stuff that we did not go through. You know, my biggest thing I think when I was growing up is I wanted to make sure I got home in time enough to watch General Hospital and whatever after school programs that was on TV. That was my biggest thing.
Definitely, the price is right.
Yeah,
That was my thing.
well,
But
the price
yeah,
is
I mean, but no, that's real, and they don't have it anymore. It's games with guns and violence, and fighting, and it's just yeah, it's tough. And this generation they do kind of have it rough
they
because
do.
it's a button, it's a button, it's a button. Well, we can just press this button. I watched a video where they were teaching the kids, a 24-year-old, a 20-year-old did not know how to use the rotary phone. They were trying to press a button. They
Oh
were like, how do you do?
wow.
They never once picked up the phone. They never picked it up. They were just spinning it and trying to press the button.
Oh my.
No, out of three kids, not one of them ever picked up the phone.
That is crazy.
I
That
don't
is
know how to do this. You pick it up first so you can hear a dial tone, and then you proceed to spinning. So yeah, it's a button for them. It's a button.
that
So
is the most craziest thing, and I believe it.
that it, I'm gonna find that video and send it to you. It was funny. I'm like, wow, and they were 20 something. I'm like, okay, so no grandmas around. You don't have that. Still have that phone on the wall.
Oh,
Somebody.
well, this generation, I call them my 2000 models. They're a little different.
They're a lot of different.
They're a little bit different. So they're like the computer people, and they have not had the experience of seeing the rotary phone or the phone that you have to put the phone hook to your ear and you dial it and ask to speak to the operator. I remember my grandmama having one of those. So I thought it was the coolest thing because I always got a chance to talk to the actual operator. I thought it was cool.
Yeah,
But
this one's they think a payphone is what? Oh, that's cool. What do you do with it? You put quarters in it. Yeah, and pick the headset up, and then you press numbers. That's what you do with a payphone.
oh
And why
yeah.
do we need those is a question? Yeah.
The
Yeah.
yellow book. Don't forget the yellow telephone book. You remember getting in trouble, Miss Deb, and your mom or grandmama tell you, okay, you're gonna go get in that corner and you're gonna hold these phone books up. You know, that was my childhood trauma. I probably caused a lot of trauma. But yeah, that was my childhood trauma having to get in the corner and I had to be quiet. That was punishment. When my dad or somebody told me that I had to be quiet, that was punishment. I don't think I made it past 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But definitely, this generation, we're gonna have to do a better job in helping them understand things. We're gonna have to do that peanut butter jelly thing with them, show them exactly how to make a peanut butter step by step because they dealing with a lot. They understand how to run, hide, and fight, but they don't understand everyday stuff that they need to be able to do. Now, some of them do because their parents taught them, but a lot of them, their parents are busy. No shade to the parents out there that you work, because I had to work too, so I get it. But when you're a single household member, it's hard on them. And I think we as a community, sometimes we need to stop talking about her or him, because some of these daddies are single parents too and they having to raise these kids. We need to do a better job in helping. If you see something, say something, and try to help mold these kids to be better leaders, because hey, they are future. And I'm worried. I'm worried. I'm
Yeah,
worried.
community is key, and we definitely, I feel like, have strayed away from community. It seems like, oh, you can't, don't say that to my child, don't discipline them. And it's like, well, goes back to what you said, piggybacking on talk to your kids at home. Teaching starts at home. It does start in the home. And
Exactly.
you can get upset, but it's like, hey, those of us are older, those that, you should know, even as a youth, to respect this or that person. And it's like the respect is gone because why? Oh, you can't talk to little Johnny like that. Oh, you better not hit Nancy. Like it's tough. It's tough on like everybody because everything is a sensitive matter.
Right. Definitely.
And it goes from how do you help them if it's sensitive or it's a or you can't do that, you can't say that to them. But at the same time, how's the teacher supposed to protect them when they can't say anything to them? You just teach my child, but when there's a weapon brought into school, now where was the teacher? Save them. Teacher had to save them and themselves. They have a family as well.
Exactly. And they want to get back to their family too. Teachers matter too.
They do. Definitely, because those 8 hours are tough for some of those teachers. And, we have to protect them as well as our children. So, like I said, it's a community thing. Um, Getting back in the community, bringing it back, more teacher parent meeting, more teacher, parent, administration, just everybody. You take that time, find those times to when the school board calls and they are opening the door to families and parents. Go to a meeting, make one. I'm pretty sure they'll have several because there's so many students in these schools, but take those meetings, go give your opinion. Don't just send your kid off and know they're going to be okay. As we see more and more violence and more school shootings are happening.
Exactly. Because here's the thing. I guess we kind of like going is everything always end up in the same thing, where we have to hold these politicians accountable. The school board, we got another school board race coming up in May, and we'll talk about that on another episode. But they want us to vote for all these bonds, right? For
Hmm.
bettering their school. Like over here, I'm over in the Northwest ISD. They got this big old over probably $10 million complex for a swimming pool for the students to swim in, which they did need one because they didn't have one. They always had to go to Keller or somewhere else to go and swim at. But my thing is, y'all asking us, the taxpayers, to give y'all these bond money, approve it, but y'all not doing anything to safeguard these kids better. Y'all not doing a good job in there. Bring those resource officers in and explain to them what y'all expect out of them. We don't want you to separate Johnny and be throwing Johnny on the ground and beating him up, because that's worse than what the kids are doing to him. We want y'all to be a resource and help us. A lot of times, like this officer, and I forgot his name, that we had over here in our Northwest area, he was the cop that everybody loved. I think he retired, but everybody loved him because All the kids knew him. They knew when they seen Mr. Officer, they were safe. They knew if he was somewhere in that area, they were safe. Now they decided, hey, we're gonna pull the resource officers out because we can't afford them. Okay, can you afford when their parents sue you for that child's death? Because I'm gonna sue you. So you can file that lawsuit, but you can't afford for a resource officer there. The taxpayers pay. So why are you not putting them in their schools? That it makes no sense to me. We got to do better. So I'm holding the
Yeah.
school accountable. I'm holding the school board accountable for what's going on down to those kids. Now, those two kids that happened, what was it, Monday or Tuesday? They were sitting waiting for the school to open up. My thing is, where was the security guard?
There wasn't one.
Exactly. I remember being back in Shreveport, there was somebody waiting. If we got dropped off early, there was somebody there. If the school opened up at 7, I guarantee you at 6:30, there was somebody standing there waiting because you always had one of the sports people, whoever it was, whether the football team or somebody was coming in to work out early. So you already know if they coming in here to work out early, you better have a staff member there at 6 o'clock in the morning to make sure we're safe. What's wrong with having the security guard there at 6 o'clock in the morning to walk the school to make sure everything is covered because people know how to hide stuff.
Yep.
So my like I said again, I'm holding the school board accountable along with the parents because first of all, parents, you all got to do a better job in talking to these kids and knowing what's going on. I had to do it. I had to talk to all three of my kids and I kept an open dialogue with them to see what was going on in their head. You know, I always talk to them and they would tell me things and then their friends, they would go tell their friends, hey, come tell my mom this, and they tell me, I think I got about 100 kids. I would go up there to the school and address that issue that they brought to me because I'm not playing with you because I don't want this kid here that's not my kid, but I'm taking on that responsibility because the mom can't do it. I'm gonna speak up for that kid. So guess what? Parents, we need to start speaking up for these kids and other people's kids because at the end of the day, it's your kid is the one that's gonna wind up getting injured. We got to do a better job in policing our own community. We all got to put our hands in. We cannot just say, okay, Governor added, you need to do a better job in writing a bill. He can write bills all day long. The bottom line is there ain't a dang on thing Abbott can do. There's not nothing that Biden can do. There's nothing start at the bottom. And we have to make sure we talk to our kids. We got to make sure, like you said before, we need to make sure that we're going to these school board events. We got to go, we got to pay more attention to what's going on and get involved.
Yeah. Yep. That's it. Bring it back. Community back. Engagement back. Parents, teachers, students. It starts with the community.
You know, it's funny that you said engagement because that's one of our mottos for this year for one of the political parties is engagement. And I think everybody needs to do that. We need to be more engaged in fighting back for our community and fighting back for our rights. It's not a violent thing. We need to be voicing our opinion and making them work for me. We sending these people up there to the White House and stuff, and we're not telling them what's needed. And this is what is causing childhood trauma because the simple fact is, if we don't get a hold of this now, it's gonna get worse before it gets better. So I'm gonna put this out there, y'all, that y'all got to do a better job because you're gonna be hearing from me soon. I'm gonna hold you
No.
accountable.
Yeah. 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 And that's one thing that I got a message here from the school board out here where we are. And I really appreciated the engagement. They were like, hey, we have a meeting at the library. We have two. They had two settings. They said, please, in the email, it said, please make it to at least one. They had one in the morning and one in the evening time. And I thought that was awesome. And that's why I do like the school districts out here where we are. They are, you can see they're trying, and um, they're doing the best they can. But again, it's us as parents. Yeah, I can count on my hand how many were there. But we have to work with them as well as they're trying to work with us. We must work with them.
Exactly, because that's what caused childhood trauma. So you expect your fourth grader, your fifth grader to be able to understand why they having to hide in a closet and barricade the door, or why they having nightmares, or they're peeing on themselves at night because they have anxiety. You know, you wonder why she don't want to go to school, because she's scared that she gets into it with somebody, somebody's going to come up to the school and shoot her up. Like the young girls, they're afraid to tell a guy no, because if you tell him no, he might decide to come up there and shoot her. And that's not only in school, that's everywhere.
Yeah,
So
it is.
it's a lot to cover.
It is.
It's a lot to cover. But I thank y'all for this. I think this is a great show, even though we your
Mhm.
engineer over here didn't record it. But you know what? We're gonna stay on this topic about childhood trauma, and speaking out about what can we do better and what they need to be doing better. We got to be the voice of the people, you know. So I appreciate you ladies for coming on to the show today. We had a wonderful show. Any last comments? I think Miss Dad lost signal.
Yeah, we dropped. They dropped.
All right. Well, thank you, Dominique. Thank you, Miss Deb, if you can hear me out there. Thank you, everyone. You don't have to support us, but I appreciate y'all coming aboard and listening to us wherever you at. And thank y'all. And we'll see y'all next Thursday at 6:30.
All right. Bye.
Bye.